Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend. Was it hot Saturday or what? Ugh, I was kind of hoping for a little bit of rain, but that did not happen. I was talking to a friend in Denver last night, and he was sitting out in his front porch, and he goes, "Man, it's hot out here." And then about 5 minutes later, he goes, "Temperature dropped about 15 degrees. It's raining. It feels great." I said, "You lucky guy." So as we look at the numbers in the Arizona real estate market this week, there's a lot of numbers that are coming up that can really kind of change the landscape a little bit, especially when it comes to mortgage rates. The new CPI number comes out, I believe, Wednesday, 9:30, 10:30 in the morning, measuring inflation. That's the biggie. That's the one everybody's going to watch for. And all summer, it's going to be like that. So you're going to see some type of an indicator that's going to make rates bounce. And as you know, rates tend to go up in anticipation of a certain number, and then they react once that number comes out. The housing market can't react that fast, but it all boils down to mortgage rates right now. And we have 15,774 homes on the market today. And that's, 4,341 of those are homes that just came on, with 2,489 go under contract. Now, today's Monday, so we have to wait till tomorrow to see how this shakes out after the 4th of July dip. So you can see here, that's last year. We dipped down and they go back up. We kind of started to dip, go back up, dip down. So it's getting back to normal. So that 2,400 number of homes going under contract is going to change. And what's happening is there's a difference of about 1,800 homes here between the number of homes that are on the market and the number of buyers that are there. And that's really what's shaping the growth in inventory. It's not the fact that people are just flooding the market with homes. It feels like that. In some neighborhoods, you're seeing a few more for sale signs going up, but the market is actually not being flooded with homes statistically. You'll see it in a couple neighborhoods here and there. Like, here's a comment here. I'm starting to find more move-in ready houses pop up, but notice these types of houses get the most competition. Some of those move-in ready may be Airbnbs. They may, if they're move-in ready and they've got furniture in them, they may just be investors unloading some property. We have, out of that, 15,774, which, get this, that's only a difference of 10 homes from Saturday. That hasn't happened to us all year. 1,756 of those are new builds that weren't putting their homes on the multiple listing service prior to now. So that's hitting it pretty hard. That's interesting to watch. I got some numbers to share with you on that, or some comments from builders coming up. Well, if the new variant continues to increase like it has, you think we'll have a repeat of 2021 market cycle? No, all bets are off. This market is different. This is interest rate driven, and it's just giving people, knocking them out of affordability. That's the whole story right there. It's just that, rates went up. They went up very quickly, and everybody's like, I can't qualify now. I'm out. Not only with resale homes, but new construction. Today's mortgage rates, this is a national mortgage rate. You can probably find something lower than 5.84. Some banks are higher. So this is what I look at on a daily basis just to see where things are at. You can see that they've been going up since Thursday. Now, the Atlanta Fed, this is an interesting one that you're going to want to watch here. The Atlanta Fed, the jobs number for June was much better than expected, but not good enough to push the Atlanta Fed's real-time gross domestic product tracker back into positive territory. So this is an article that says, if it turns out to be right, they're saying that it's looking like we're going to be down 1.2% in gross domestic product. If it turns out to be right, this would be the second consecutive quarterly contraction. In the minds of many, that constitutes a recession. So the recession could be here as early as a couple of weeks officially. That number come out here real quick. And I'm glad, B&G, I'm glad you brought this up. I heard inflation may have peaked, but wonder what rates will look like at the end of the year. That's the other thing you're going to see. Every time the CPI comes out now on a monthly basis, you're going to hear it's either peaked or it looks like it hasn't peaked. And that's going to move the market. We're going to have a lot of volatility going forward. And I'm not an economist, but I can see what's happening right now. And that is that people are just glued to the numbers when it comes to rate hikes. The Fed has to pull back inflation. So that's the number they're looking at. Now, if it turns out that inflation has peaked, you have to ask yourself, well, do you think the Fed's going to back off at all? Because if they do back off at all, then you may just be throwing more gasoline on the fire. So I don't know. It's hard to figure them out as well. There may be some political pressures. I kind of doubt it. But those are the numbers that are going to go boink, 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 boink. I've seen some charts in the Federal Reserve that show that it looks like inflation has gone way up and it's plateaued. But it's really easy for it to go the other way. And it still baffles me why they don't include food and fuel in the CPI. That just seems really odd to me. Now, there's a great guy that puts out a newsletter, and you can subscribe to his newsletter. He's called Calculated Risk, and he tracks, I think, 20 different cities in the United States and looks at the housing data. And he's said for a long time that, it's all about inventory, and I agree with him. But he's talking here about home builders. Some home builders comments, Director of Research at John Burns Real Estate Consulting, a must follow for housing on Twitter. I don't do Twitter. I probably should. Has the inventory gone up? Surprise. We'll check that in just a moment, Rick. Atlanta home builder. Someone turned out the lights on our sales in June. Austin home builders. Sales have fallen off a cliff. Birmingham sales have fallen 75% in the last 2 months in a further out community. Drive till you qualify. Those are the ones that are getting hit, right? Maricopa, Buckeye, Queen Creek, Charlotte. This recession is looking like feeling like a big, long 5-year depression. Wow. Get down here to Phoenix, and we have a Phoenix builder. I found it earlier. Where did it go? That's the whole reason we're here, right? Here it is, Phoenix builder. Some builders are already cutting staff. Cancellations are extremely high. Dismal traffic and sales climate. That's not a surprise to anybody that's out there looking. And what we don't see, because it's not, when you are purchasing a home owner occupied and you cancel it, it shows up in the multiple listing service as canceled. If you've listed your house and then your listing agreement expires, it shows up as expired. But in the new build communities, none of that data is visible. So I have no idea how many homes are being canceled in the new build communities. My suspicion has been it's a lot. But being in the business world, you're not allowed to use words like a lot and very much. You have to have something concrete to hang your hat on, Wow, that changed a lot. You'll get kicked out of a sales meeting really quick when you talk like that. Listing prices per square foot. People are coming down. Cromford Market Index just released a new chart yesterday morning. I love this thing. I can now look at listing price per square foot by city. This green one here is Phoenix. This blue one is Chandler. Look at that. They just went boink down here, and we're down to 304. And then here's Phoenix and Mesa. Mesa's at the bottom here. Somebody was asking about, let's see, Surprise. Let's see if I can find that. Surprise here. We have prices kind of flat, barely going down. These are asking prices. Or as Michael Zuber, who I interviewed yesterday, if you get a chance, take a look at that. He calls it wish pricing, not list pricing. Boy, I wish I could get that. Maricopa, let me clean this up here just a hair so we don't have a million lines on this thing. Let's look and see what's going on with Maricopa. Maricopa's coming down. Looks like they peaked around June 1st, and their prices are coming down, as is, I'm going to guess, Buckeye. Buckeye is the dark purple. They've come down since June. So the first week of June is when everybody peaked, and now they're coming down. We have an inventory question. Let's see if I can find that for you. Active listings right here. I don't know if this is going to let me sort it out by city. Yes, it will. Bear with me, folks, while I maneuver the mouse here. And we're looking at Surprise. And there it is. So now Surprise is going to have some new construction in that number, but we went from last week of 590 up to 654. Comparatively, last year, you're down to 182. That's why your bidding wars in Surprise are going to disappear. Here's the monthly average sales price, not the listing price, but the sales price. It looks like it peaked first week of June, and now it's on its way down. So the big what if, the big guess going forward is how low will this number get? Tina Tambor, the Cromford Report, made a comment this week saying that she thinks we will get down to December 2021 pricing. So that is right here. And that is 523,000 from a high here of 602,000. So we're going to go down about $75,000 from our peak on the average monthly sales price. That's where she says we may head. And if you look at this chart, we could end up there. But what we don't know is we don't know what the floor is. So we're not quite sure where this is going to land. So now when we looked at 2008, and I want to clean this chart up again, I'm going to get rid of 18, 19. I'll leave 20 in there. In 2008, we saw sales prices coming down. That was the big crash, right? But like I say, here's 255. Next week it's 247, 246. See, it felt like it was fast, but it was actually just kind of nosing down a little bit each week with a high of about $10,000 a week. Boom, 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 boom. In 2009, it continued, and then it finally started to creep back up slowly until the investor traffic made its way into the market, started picking up property. So that's what's going on in a nutshell in the market. This is our overall listing count right now. It says 14,560. We're about 1,000 higher than that in reality. This is counted on Saturday afternoon. So we are back at 2018 levels in total. By price range, that number can change dramatically. If you get to the price range that is what we're going to call the move-up buyer, which is between $400,000 and $500,000, that's the number that you see that really jumped off the map here. Take a look at this. 3,638 versus last year, 1,008. So that's the number that got affected the most with the run-up in interest rates. The move-up buyer. Who's the move-up buyer? Well, you bought a home, you may have bought a condo. Home's a little small, but it's your entry-level home, and now it's time to move up to something bigger. That's generally the price range where that kind of stuff happens. So that party's over for a while. Buyers are sitting in the bleachers with binoculars watching everything, trying to see what's going on. Everybody's guessing where we're going to be next year. I don't like to guess. I like to privately think, well, this could happen, that could happen. But I don't like to guess. I don't like to use words like a whole lot or bunch. I really want to look at the numbers. And sometimes I get chewed out a little bit on YouTube. There's some keyboard warriors out there that just pounce on me. And I guess it's a hobby for them. But I'm just sharing what the numbers are. They are what they are. If I see that listing prices are coming down, that's going to make it difficult for you as a seller to get that peak price that you were hoping for about a month and a half ago. That's not a made up number. That's just the way it is. And reality can sometimes bite. The guy had a comment this morning that says who, you? I thought, okay, well, because you didn't see the numbers. Some people just need more of this before they start typing. I had an interview with Michael Zuber yesterday. Some people liked it, some people didn't, but I like to interview different people. If you have somebody you'd like me to bring on the show, let me know. I'll see if I can grab them. And I thought it was a pretty good show. Posted about Sunday, about 6 o'clock, something like that. So it's nice to get some perspective from another state. You can agree with some of it or not some of it, but I like to bring different people on. We were kind of poking fun of Reventure Consulting a little bit, and but I've tried to get him on a couple times. I've even told him, come on, we'll have fun. No bueno. He doesn't want to join me. So I don't blame him. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I hope everybody has a fantastic Monday. Stay tuned on Wednesday night. Let's see what happens with the CPI when it comes out. Let's follow it closely and see what it does to mortgage rates. Have a great day.